You're going to love this. Trust me, what you're seeing now is my normal state.
Welcome, I'm Spaghetti King, and this is what I'll call classic ASMR review, which is different from the regular ASMR review category. And the reason is because it's not a current, or at least semi-current one. I would say my limit for ASMR reviews is it has to be, like, less old than a week, probably, for me to review it in the regular review category. Because the reviews, I keep up with, you know, stuff that came out recently as much as I can. Sometimes I'll record a video like the day it came out, but I won't upload it until a couple days later, so, you know, some videos come out that I can't account for. But, you know, for the most part, I try and keep up to date as much as I can with my reviews. But sometimes I feel like reviewing a video that's way old. That's like many months old, or maybe a year old. And this today is, I didn't introduce the title, School Bully Apologizes by MasinaVA, who is a dead channel, I believe. Hasn't uploaded in many months, and still has like 10,000 subs though, so pretty good on that. But yeah, this is a classic one. I think I remember when this came out, man. Yeah, dude. Ugh. I don't think I watched when it came out, but I remember when it came out. So this is an old school one, and we're gonna review it today. So this has what I would call a sequential structure. So it begins with you meeting your bully on the roof. She apparently left a letter for you, and you meet her. So she goes on to explain that, you know, it's been a while since you've been here, you haven't been in school for a while, something, you know, bad happened to you, so you had to kind of like leave, and that will be extrapolated on a bit, but, you know, she explains, it begins with her explaining the backstory, which is basically that she bullied you, you know, she made fun of you, insulted you, sometimes got a little bit physical apparently, and you know whatnot, basically regular bully things. And she says she thought about it, and she's so sorry. She's really sorry about it. And you know, I'm not saying it ironically. It's actually very good when she says sorry. But you know, then she basically tells you why she bullied you, which was that she was jealous of you. You're perfect, she says, and you know, she says high classes, good grades, many friends, and she wanted to be like me. She wanted to she wanted to be like me, but she never will be. She's never going to be like me, and you know, it's the better way to go, honestly, because I think there are probably a lot of people who might think they want to be like me, but they wouldn't want to be me until they've been me, is probably what I'll say out of them. They wouldn't have the energy to be me. They wouldn't have it in them. They wouldn't have the IQ or the energy to be me. But, you know, as for me going high class and good grades, you bet I was a straight A guy and whatnot, and I got these fancy recommendations, and I went to college while I was in high school because I got that much of a recommendation, and you know, it is how it is. And the friends, well, you know, I wouldn't say I have like a bunch of friends, but I do have a lot of friends relative to an introvert. I seem to have this kind of like following, this kind of thing. So, I don't know. But, you know, people can envy, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't envy, you know? Even if I look like I'm in some ideal situation, you shouldn't envy me. You shouldn't be jealous of me. You should be yourself and work for yourself and develop yourself and, you know, work for yourself on those terms and find your benefits, find your masteries, because, you know, what you have, I will not. That's how you should do. And it doesn't mean you need to be exceptional or a genius. It just means you need to develop what you are, you know? You go and just have, like, a bunch of kids and you've already done, like, pretty much the most good, successful thing you can do in your life, most productive thing you can do. And, you know, compare that to some billionaire who had 6 divorces, and I think you're off to a wonderful start. or a wonderful life, at least, right? But anyway, she, explains this envy she had of me, and, she accepts that she is not going to be like me, and the situation is different. But, she was with some other crowd of people who insulted me, but there appears to be some kind of different terms between her and me, and she apologizes. She just said, I'm so sorry for this, this happened to you, that this happened to you. And then she pretty much asks, why were you gone? And you were gone apparently because you wanted to just get away from school for a bit, pretty much, after she bullied you. It's not really stated specifically if it was her directly for that reason, or if it was just, you were just, like psychologically not in a good place, and, you just wanted to, like, leave for a bit, basically take, like, a mental health break. A very modernist term. But, then you start to cry. You start to cry, right? I can't mock cry. I just can't do it. Because I just don't cry, okay? I just don't cry. Look, I just don't cry. Other people don't get this. Boomers don't get it. I just don't cry. I just don't believe men should do it. I just don't do it. So I just don't cry. No. But, I just can't do it. You see how goofy I look when I try that? I just can't do it, man. But yeah, you cry, and then she's like, do you want me to give you a hug? And hey, crying or not, no denying that. No denying that, no denying that, you bet. Anytime for a hug, So she hugs you, and, kind of like make up in that way, and then you, pretty much goes from the ending from there. She gives some, like, basic exposition where she's like, yeah, I, like, let that, when you came back to school, I let that letter in your locker so you would come to the roof and we would talk so other people wouldn't see us talking and whatnot. And it concludes with, her being like, are we good? And you're like, yeah. Yeah. We're good. We're good. And, she's like, oh, I know you still have, like, time to heal and whatnot, but, oh, that's great, yeah, so, maybe we can be friends now. Maybe I've stood above and now the bullies are, on my side. Okay. So that's the conclusion. Now, a couple other things I have to say about this is, number one, the first comment at the bottom of this video is very interesting on a discussion point, which is, like, tsundere friend confesses that she may have gone too far, or something like that. That's the statement. And yeah, actually, the audio does give that kind of impression. Tsundere admits she's gone too far, instead of a bully. Yeah, because she feels, like, a bit more personally attached to you, but then she's also like, I was jealous of you, and I was, like, spiting you and bullying you for no reason. I got a little bit physical on occasion. These are all, like, tsundere traits, like, I'll admit, and yeah, like, when I said that, when I heard that, I honestly said to myself, yeah, like, has no one realized that, like, tsundere is, like, semi-bully, nearing bullying? I mean, honestly, if it were a man doing what tsundere does, I don't think people would really be okay with it, to be honest, in a lot of cases. I mean, imagine if a man was, like, jealous, or not jealous, potentially jealous, but he was like, look, I'm not complimenting you. Psh. I mean, imagine... imagine that, dude. It would not go over well, I don't believe. But anyway. It's an interesting comment. It's an interesting point of discussion, and I actually agree with it a lot. You can watch the video with that perspective. And it's pretty, it's a matter of perspective, but it's like, yeah, okay, that fits a lot. So, any other last things to point out? The art is... I mean, it reminds me of Miku, but she kind of looks like that one girl from 3D Kanojo. 3D Kanojo, 3D girl. It's been a while since I've seen that. But I'm not sure if that actually is her. It might be her, but I'm not sure if it is her. But, black and white, kind of like a manga look, and you know, that's it's minimal, good, you know, nothing really to complain about on that end. So I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the structure. The only flaw I could really point out with this video is that it's kind of repetitive. Like she says, you know, most of her lines she says at least 3 times each. You know what I mean? Like, oh thanks, are we good? Oh, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done this, whatnot. She kind of repeats things a lot. It's made up for by the acting, which is superb. It feels like there's really a lot of impact behind like what she says, but it is kind of repetitive, and that's really the only thing that holds it back. And you'll notice more when you like rewatch it more. So it's kind of how it is. But you know, other than that, really isn't much wasted space, which usually is the problem with repetitive lines, is that they basically are filler. This really doesn't have much filler, and if it does, it has like maybe at best 20% filler, which is fine, negligible, and it hits home enough to you that you won't notice it unless you rewatch it. So, good, capital G, good, a classic. We like MasinaVA. Don't know where you're at. Would love to see you back, because you know, I you know, got deep into ASMR like basically when she was gone already. So, like I was watching back then, but I wasn't like in it. So, you know, that's how it goes. But thank you for watching. I'm Spaghetti King. I love you all, and farewell.